Have you ever felt a deep, nagging sense that there's more to you than your name, your job, your memories, and your body? A feeling that you are a part of something vast, ancient, and incredibly powerful. If you've ever looked at the stars and felt a sense of coming home, or experienced a moment of perfect stillness where the boundary between you and the world seemed to dissolve, then you are on the cusp of the most profound realization available to a human being. You are beginning to awaken to the divine state. This isn't just philosophy or spiritual wishful thinking. This is where the deepest wisdom of our ancestors converges with the mind-bending discoveries of quantum physics. And it all hinges on two simple, yet infinitely powerful words: I am. What if I told you that how you use these two words determines the very fabric of the reality you experience? That these words are not just a statement of existence, but a command to the quantum field, a declaration of being that shapes energy into matter. We have been conditioned to believe we are separate individuals, isolated beings navigating a world of random circumstances. We are taught to complete the sentence I am with limitations. I am tired. I am stressed. I am not good enough. I am struggling. Each of these statements is an act of creation. But you are not creating from your own limited power. You are commanding an infinite power with a limited belief. The core truth, the one that sages, mystics, and now physicists are pointing to, is that the I am within you is the same I am that is the source of all creation. There is only one consciousness, one awareness, expressing itself through countless forms. Understanding this isn't just an intellectual exercise. It is the key to unlocking a state of being where you move from being a character in the story of your life to being the author. This journey we're embarking on today is about remembering that true self. This channel is dedicated to that remembrance, connecting the dots between ancient spiritual truth and the frontier science of our time. Every piece of information here is shared with the deep intention and love to support you in that awakening, in returning to the power and wisdom that is your birthright. The idea that your core identity is divine is not a new one. It is the golden thread woven through every great wisdom tradition on earth. When Moses stood before the burning bush and asked for the name of the divine, the answer was not a name, but a statement of pure being. I am that I am. This is the ultimate declaration of existence. It is not, I am this, or I am that. It is the unconditioned, unmanifest potential from which all things arise. It is the source code of reality. When Jesus said, I and the Father are one, he was not speaking of his personality, the man named Jesus. He was speaking from the awareness of I am, recognizing that the consciousness within him was the same universal consciousness that is the source of all life, the Father. This wasn't a claim of exclusive divinity. It was an invitation for all of us to recognize the same truth within ourselves. In the East, the Buddha spoke of an inherent Buddha nature in all beings. This isn't something you achieve. It's something you awaken to. It's the recognition that beneath the layers of conditioning, thought, and personality, there is a core of pure, enlightened awareness. The great Vedic scriptures of India contain the Mahavakya, or great saying, Tattvamasi, which translates to, you are that. It is a direct statement to you, the seeker, that the essence of your being is identical to the essence of the universe. All these teachings, separated by centuries and continents, point to the exact same truth. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. The awareness that looks out through your eyes is the same awareness that animates the entire cosmos. The sense of I am that you feel right now is not personal. It is universal. The only thing that makes it feel personal is the story you attach to it. Understanding this is the first monumental step toward embodying the divine state. And once you take this step, reality itself begins to change, because you are changing the fundamental premise upon which your reality is built. You are shifting from I am a person to simply I am. So, how do you know if you're ready to make this shift? The truth is, your consciousness is likely already giving you signs, nudging you toward this recognition. You might be experiencing them right now and not even realizing what they are. One of the most common signs is feeling an infinite presence in the mundane. Maybe you're washing the dishes or driving to work, and for a fleeting moment, a profound sense of peace and interconnectedness washes over you. The chatter in your mind stops, and you feel a timeless, spacious awareness that is both you and everything around you. This is a glimpse of your true nature, the I Am presence, breaking through the noise of the personality. Another sign is episodes of spontaneous knowing. Have you ever just known the answer to something without any logical reason? Or had a sudden, deep insight into a problem that had been plaguing you for weeks? This isn't your brain working overtime. This is you accessing the universal field of consciousness, the quantum field, where all information exists simultaneously. When you quiet the limited personal mind, you become a receiver for this greater intelligence. Many people on this path begin to have experiences of unity, where the boundary between self and other temporarily dissolves. You might look at another person, an animal, or a tree, and feel no separation. You recognize the same life, the same consciousness, looking back at you. This is a direct experience of the truth that I and the Father are one. It shatters the illusion of separation that is the root of so much of our suffering. You might also notice bursts of effortless creativity. Suddenly, ideas flow through you without any striving. You write, paint, solve problems, or come up with business ideas from a place of inspired flow rather than mental grind. This is because you are no longer creating from the limited storage of your personal mind. You are allowing the infinite creative intelligence of the universe to create through you. You become a conduit for I Am. And finally, you may be experiencing what some call impossible manifestations or synchronicities. The right person calls at the perfect moment. The exact opportunity you were thinking about lands in your lap. Reality seems to be rearranging itself to support your intentions. This isn't luck. This is the observer effect in real time. As your awareness shifts from the limited self to the universal I Am, you begin to resonate with the creative power of the quantum field. You are no longer just a particle being bounced around by circumstances. You are the observer collapsing the wave of infinite potential into your desired experience. These signs are not random. They are a call from your deeper self, letting you know that the time for awakening is now. But this awakening often comes with a paradox. For many, the path to recognizing this infinite self is paved with profound hardship and suffering. It seems counterintuitive. Why would the journey to a state of peace and power involve so much pain? The reason is both simple and profound. Suffering is the most effective solvent for the ego. Your ego is the construct of your limited identity. It's the story of me, my past, my failures, my successes, my body, my beliefs. This identity is inherently fragile and needs to constantly defend and reinforce itself. The divine state, the recognition of I Am, is a state of no self, of identification with the formless, infinite consciousness. For that to be revealed, the false limited self must be dismantled. Think of it as a form of spiritual alchemy. Intense pressure and heat are required to turn carbon into a diamond. Similarly, life's challenges, loss, heartbreak, failure, illness, apply an unbearable pressure to the structure of the ego. They systematically strip away the things you identify with. You lose the job you thought defined you. A relationship you built your identity around ends. Your health fails, forcing you to confront your identification with your physical body. Each of these experiences is a form of ego death. It is painful because you believe you are losing yourself. But you are not losing yourself. You are losing the illusion of who you thought you were, clearing the way for you to discover who you truly are. From a neuroscience perspective, these intense emotional experiences are crucial for rewiring the brain. Your subconscious mind, which governs 95% of your life, is built upon a foundation of powerful emotional memories. Hardships create new, potent emotional imprints that can override old programming. The pain of hitting rock bottom can become the leverage you need to finally let go of a belief system that was never serving you. This is why so many people who have profound spiritual awakenings have often gone through a dark night of the soul. It is not a punishment. It is a purification process. The fire of suffering burns away everything that is not real, everything that is not the essential truth of your being. It forces you to let go of your grip on the life you planned so you can receive the life that is waiting for you. When you have nothing left to hold on to, you are forced to fall back into the only thing that is truly real, the foundational awareness of I am. And it is from that empty, spacious place that true creation begins. You realize the suffering was not happening to you. It was happening for you. It was the universe's severe mercy, preparing you to embody the divine state. So how do we make this shift from a life of circumstance to a life of creation? The mechanism is simpler and yet more profound than you can imagine. It lies in consciously reclaiming the power of I am. Remember the double-slit experiment in quantum physics? Particles behave as a wave of infinite possibilities until they are observed. The moment an observer looks, the wave collapses into a single specific particle in a single location. You are that observer. Your consciousness is the act of observation. And your primary tool of observation is your attention and your declaration of I am. When you say, I am sick, you are the divine consciousness observing and collapsing the wave of infinite health potential into the specific particle of sickness. You are using the power that creates worlds to create a limitation for yourself. When you say, I am broke, you are taking the unmanifest abundance of the quantum field and commanding it to manifest as lack in your experience. The universe does not judge. The field of energy does not have an opinion. It simply responds to the frequency of your consciousness, and the statement, I am, is the most powerful frequency generator you possess. This is where we must also look to epigenetics. The science of epigenetics has proven that our genes are not our destiny. Our perception of the environment controls the activity of our genes. Dr. Bruce Lipton's work shows that the signals from our mind, our beliefs and emotions, can literally rewrite our biological expression. When you live in a state of fear, stress, and limitation, constantly repeating, I am stressed, I am afraid, you are bathing your cells in the chemistry of stress hormones like cortisol. This sends a signal to your genes to express themselves in a state of disease and survival. But what happens when you shift your identity? When you stop identifying with the temporary state and start identifying with the permanent awareness behind it. The key is not to fight your thoughts or to pretend you don't feel sick or broke. The key is to go deeper. Beneath the thought, I am sick, is the pure awareness of I am. The sickness is a temporary experience happening within the infinite, unchanging field of your being. The practical step is this. Begin to notice every time you complete the sentence, I am, with a limitation. Catch yourself. And in that moment, instead of trying to force a positive thought on top of it, simply pause, take a breath, and for a moment, let go of everything that comes after the am. Just rest in the pure, silent feeling of I am. Feel the stillness, the presence, the awareness of being itself. In that moment of pure being, you are not defined by your body, your bank account, or your past. You are simply being. This is your true nature. By practicing this, you are shifting your vibrational point of attraction. You are withdrawing your conscious energy from the particle of limitation and returning it to the wave of infinite potential. This is the great secret. The divine state is not achieved through struggle, effort, or adding more to yourself. It is accessed through subtraction, through letting go, through recognizing the silent, powerful truth that was there all along. You are not a person who has awareness. You are awareness itself, temporarily having the experience of being a person. As you begin to practice this, you will notice a fundamental shift in how you relate to reality. You will start to see that the world is not something happening to you, but rather a mirror reflecting the state of your consciousness back to you. This is the principle of quantum resonance. Everything in the universe is vibrating. Objects that vibrate at a similar frequency naturally resonate with each other. They amplify each other's energy. When your dominant state of being is "I am worried" or "I am lacking," you are vibrating at a frequency of incoherence and fear. By the law of resonance, you can only attract people, circumstances, and events that match that frequency. You will find more things to worry about and experience more lack. The world will seem to prove your limiting beliefs right, creating a feedback loop. However, when you learn to rest in the pure, unconditioned state of "I am," you are aligning yourself with the highest, most coherent frequency there is, the frequency of the quantum field itself, the frequency of pure potential. This is a frequency of love, wholeness, and infinite possibility. When this becomes your dominant state, your inner world becomes coherent. And because the outer world is a mirror, it must begin to reflect that coherence back to you. This is when synchronicities become the norm. Solutions appear out of nowhere. Your health improves. Abundance flows. It's not magic. It's physics. You have changed the signal you're broadcasting to the universe, and the universe has no choice but to send you a matching picture. The challenge is that most of us are broadcasting a signal of incoherence without even realizing it. Our conscious mind might be trying to affirm "I am abundant," but our subconscious mind, the 95% that runs the show, is playing a loop from a past memory that screams, "I am not worthy," or "It's not safe to have money." This creates an energetic conflict, a state of incoherence. You are pressing the gas and the brake at the same time. This is why simply chanting affirmations can often feel frustrating and ineffective. You cannot lie to your subconscious mind. It deals in feelings and deep-seated beliefs. The work is not to shout a new belief over the old one. The work is to go to the source. The practice of resting in "I am" bypasses the analytical mind and the stored data of the past. It takes you to the silent, precognitive state of pure awareness. From this state, you are not trying to change a belief. You are accessing the truth that is prior to all belief. You are aligning with the consciousness that created your body, that beats your heart, that knows how to heal itself. You are tapping into the operating system of the universe, not just trying to tweak the software of your personality. This is the shift from personal creation to divine creation. Integrating this into your daily life is the key to making it your new reality. This cannot be just a concept you understand. It must become a state you embody. The first and most powerful practice is what you do in the first few moments of your day. Before you pick up your phone, before you start thinking about your to-do list, before the personality rushes in to take over, lie in bed and simply feel the awareness of your own existence. Feel the subtle energy in your body. Become aware of the simple, silent truth. "I am." Don't add anything to it. Just be with that feeling for 5 or 10 minutes. You are starting your day by connecting with your source, with the infinite field of potential. Before you engage with the world of created things, you are setting your resonant frequency for the day to infinite potential instead of problem to be solved. Throughout your day, practice what I call "I am" pauses. Set a reminder on your phone if you need to. 3 or 4 times a day, just stop whatever you're doing. Close your eyes for 30 seconds. Take a deep breath and let go of your role, mother, employee, spouse, whatever it is. And for that short moment, just sink back into the simple awareness of being. This practice trains your nervous system to disidentify from the constant state of stress and doing, and to remember its true nature, which is being. When you face a challenge, a difficult conversation, a financial worry, a health scare, the old habit will be to react from the limited personality. "I'm so stressed. I can't handle this." In that moment, pause, acknowledge the feeling, and then ask yourself a deeper question. Who is it that is aware of this feeling of stress? In that question, you create a space. You shift your identity from the feeling itself to the awareness that is noticing the feeling. You step back from the storm into the calm, silent eye of the hurricane. From this place of "I am" awareness, you have access to wisdom, creativity, and solutions that are unavailable when you are lost in the reaction of the ego. I want you to try something right now. In the comments below, I want you to share one limiting belief you've attached to I am that you are now willing to let go of. It could be, I am not creative, I am unlucky in love, or I am always struggling. By writing it down and sharing it, you are consciously acknowledging it and declaring your intention to release your identification with it. This is a powerful act of reclaiming your creative authority. As you deepen this practice, you must be prepared for the resistance. Your ego, that sense of a separate self, has been running your life for decades. It will not go quietly. When you start to identify with the vast, formless awareness of I am, the ego will feel like it's dying, and it will fight for its survival. It will flood your mind with doubt. This is nonsense. This isn't working. Who do you think you are? It will bring up every past failure and every future fear to pull you back into the small story of me. This is the most critical phase. The mistake most people make is to fight the ego. But who is fighting whom? It is the ego fighting itself. The solution is not to fight, but to observe. From the seat of I am awareness, you simply watch the thoughts of doubt and fear arise, like clouds passing in the sky. You don't engage with them. You don't believe them. You don't try to push them away. You simply allow them to be there, knowing that you are the sky, not the clouds. The sky is not affected by the weather that passes through it. This is where you must hold the faith. You must trust that the universal principles are true, even when your senses and your old programming are screaming that they're not. This is about stabilizing in the new state. Think of it like tuning a radio. At first, you get a lot of static. You keep turning the dial, and you get glimpses of the clear station. But then you lose it again. You don't give up and decide the station doesn't exist. You patiently and persistently keep adjusting the dial until the signal locks in and becomes clear and steady. Resting in I am is you tuning your consciousness to the frequency of the divine state. Every time you choose awareness over reaction, you are strengthening that signal. Remember the observer effect. Reality is a field of potential. As long as you are identifying with doubt and limitation, you are continuously collapsing that potential into more evidence for doubt and limitation. The moment you steadfastly hold your attention in the state of I am, in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, in the knowing of your true nature, you are commanding that same field to collapse into an experience that matches your new state of being. It has to. It is a law of the new science. Your job is not to figure out the how. The how is the domain of the universal mind. Your job is simply to define the what by embodying the state of being, the I am that you desire. We have journeyed from the words of ancient mystics to the laboratories of quantum physicists, and we have arrived at the same staggering conclusion. Your identity is not what you think it is. You are not your story, your body, your personality, or your problems. These are experiences that are passing through you, but they are not you. The real you, the eternal you, is the formless, silent awareness that is witnessing all of it. It is the consciousness that says, I am. This is not a metaphor. It is the literal truth of your being. The power that holds galaxies in formation and sprouts a seed from the earth is the very same power that resides in the core of your own awareness. For centuries, we have been taught to look for this power outside of ourselves, in a distant heaven or a future enlightenment. But it was never outside. It has always been right here, closer to you than your own breath, waiting patiently behind the veil of your thoughts. The two words, I am, are the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the finite and the infinite. Every time you speak them, you are standing at the altar of creation. When you attach them to a limitation, I am weak, I am incapable, you are directing the infinite power of God, of Source, of the quantum field, to create a reality of limitation. You are placing the crown of a king on the head of a beggar. The invitation, the entire purpose of your spiritual journey, is to stop doing this. It is to let the words, I am, stand alone. in their pristine power and purity. To rest in that unconditioned state is to align yourself with the divine state, a field of infinite potential where your awareness is the sole operating power. In this state, you do not need to struggle or force things to happen. You simply know what you are, and you allow reality to reorganize itself around that truth. You are at a crossroads. The world will continue to give you a million reasons to identify with your limitations. Your mind will continue to offer you the familiar comfort of your old story. But now you know the truth. You know that your point of power is not in changing the world outside, but in recognizing the truth of who you are inside. Your next thought, your next word, will program the universe. Will you say, "I am a victim of my circumstances"? Or will you stand in the silent, powerful, and absolute truth of "I am," and let the universe orchestrate its magic through you? The choice is, and has always been, yours. You are the creator of your experience. It's time to remember and to create from the truth of who you are.